All right. Happy, I guess, belated Labor Day. We're celebrating the release of Wilds of Eldraine and other cards such as pair of lost dice that have been released from treasure chest or in treasure chest that have been paper legal but not on MTGO. This is a kind of cool environment to test because I think there's going to be notable legacy playables that have entered the environment. To me, the biggest one is going to be Besiege the Mirror, given what's the upgrade that it gives to the Helm deck and some Storm variants. At least from first glance, I think the most obvious home for that deck is the mono black Helm of Obedience slash Lay on the Void Daw Voidwalker deck. But in addition to that, I think um, Tony Scapone's Saga Black Saga Storm deck stands to benefit a lot from that card, at least on surface level. And also, just it could be a new take on traditional Ant variants that have easier lines with Tutoring Guy as well. Obviously, you can do that in Black Saga Storm as well, but for those who like playing cantrips, right? That's another way to build a deck. Up the Beanstalk is another card that is going to make that has already actually made its impact on the Four Seasons event. And then look, unfortunately for us, I don't think there's any card that was worth looking at. There is one in particular that I kind of like, but I it's kind of expensive right now. I'm not even sure it's worth it because and here it is. So I just put Agatha's Soul Card. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't pop up here. Oops, I think I just need to say card. Yeah, this was kind of interesting to me. I've seen it in some painter lists already. You can combo with like Phyrexian Devourer, for instance. If you Goblin Engineer for that, and just like have a very strong creature. I like it as just a value card in our deck. The problem with it is we kind of already got our Wilds of Eldraine printing in Chromox, so to speak. I don't know if I want to make our deck a little bit vulnerable to artifact hate slash null rat slash the Nombo with collective. Sort of. I do think up the beanstalk, not up the beanstalk. Sorry, Beseech the Mirror slots into the Helmline deck pretty easily. I don't think there's much build around in that. It's like kind of an easy add. There's some building around a little bit in Saga Storm probably because triple black is not the easiest for that deck to make. Um, Up the beanstalk, obviously you have to contort your control deck a little bit. I'm not. It like competes with One Ring and other things like Mince and Boo, but the Soul Cauldron I think is like kind of interesting because we have like very relevant. It does for Storm. I think it's an easy add personally for the Helmline deck. I think you just have like extra Leyline hanging around. You have like extra petals or whatever hanging around opposite. The way that the Four Seasons list was built, you play Saga. I think that deck kind of does it without much contortion, right? Um, Thank you for the sub, Harry. Appreciate it. I was going. Okay, so I think you probably just tuned in. I was going to try it, and then we almost got like our Wilds of our Dream printing like a week, maybe if you want to call it 2 weeks early, with Chrome Mox Discovery. The what I'm a little bit afraid of is opening myself up to not only graveyard hate, but nice. Okay, so that's the nice thing about Maverick. I think Maverick. I don't think it plays any artifacts at the moment, so I think it's you don't get hit by artifact hate or graveyard hate. Now graveyard hate is like slightly hits Night of Reliquary, but similar to Reclaimer, the main draw to Reclaimer and Knight is the tutoring, not so much the body, right? Like same thing for the Phenars, and like that's just kind of the gravy on top. I mean, sometimes it wins games. I mean, not sometimes. A lot of times it wins games, but that's not the scary part of the card, if that makes sense. Um, but maybe I should try it. I don't know. I I wasn't going to tonight only because the card is like still kind of high on what is it called on GoatBots. Let's see, it is currently 1650 on GoatBots. Now that's not like breaking the bank or anything. It got turned off by my own grave. That's pretty funny. The bigger concern was like for instance, I bought like on stream last time or 2 times ago, whatever it was, the fourth Bowmasters. I think that was when I was testing either Chrome Mox or Delighted Halfling. I don't remember which, but like I don't have a problem buying that. I just I'm a little bit concerned about the Nombo, like and opening ourselves up to not only graveyard hate, which is not the best against us right now, right? Like I don't care if they shrink our reclaimers and artisans for the most part. Um, but I do care if suddenly like Outland Liberator or Karn is like relevant, right? Like it already is like somewhat relevant, but not really. I don't want to turn on that, but I may test it. Let's just say not this stream, but maybe the next one. I do want to nail down a list. I won't be playing the super qualifier this Saturday. Unfortunately, I will be out of town, so this will be my last stream until next week. And I think next week there is a chance. The next stream may be not a pairing, but an exhibition match against I'll preview right now, but Niv Smuley, who will be on 4C control. We will be playing some exhibition matches because I know some players have been struggling against the control matchup, but um, we haven't nailed down the details yet. So next one could be against him or it could be maybe the Agatha's Cauldron, right? Like, but I do want to nail down a list for anybody who subscribes to my Patreon, so they can play the super qualifier this coming Saturday. Like I said, I will not be able to still because I will be out of town. So, quick update on myself. I've not played a relevant big event. I think since really, I think the last one was like March or something, because I missed the 3 showcase challenges from last season due to Mother's Day and the other 2 to the baby. And then the first showcase challenge this season, I missed because I just had like a family lunch. But I think I will be able to play the not showcase, the qualifier at the end of this month. But unfortunately, not the one this week. But so that is kind of an update with me. So I'm kind of excited for that. It'll be the first big event in almost 5 months. No, actually more than that. Like almost half a year since I played a big event. So that's coming, but not this weekend. I think Cauldron is really nice against your Euro decks and Reanimate decks. I think so too. I actually kind of liked it in the Fairy slot, but again, I didn't want to open up my deck to Artifact and Graveyard Heart, so to speak, right? I have not tested Saga. I just don't think it's worth it. Like, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's worth. I think what notably is different about this list tonight is I'm on essentially 24 lands ish. That's like one more than normal, but I have. Thank you for the subscription, Mike. I appreciate it. Hey, how's it going? You missed the intro earlier, I think, but I was saying all the good things about Beseech the Mirror and how. Actually, for those who don't know, Mike here is an Ant specialist. Not that he only plays Ant, but that's kind of his bread and butter. He's got many 5-0s with our deck as well. But I was saying I didn't want to open myself up to no rod effects and graveyard hate at the same time, because they're not particularly great against us right now, and I don't want to accidentally make their endurance or whatever good against us or their Outland Liberator. But maybe the future stream I can test Cauldron. Maybe, but before I added Chromox, for what it's worth, I did think the card was worth testing. I was going to, but right now I am a little bit more. I've cooled off a little bit on the card because not so much because I'm down on the card, but more so I don't want to get hit by a random hate. Also, in honor of the two subscriptions here, I'm just gonna YOLO and open up a chest. All right, let's see what goes. Five. Oh, I got a grief. Okay, that's a sign. And what's it called? Excavator. That's pretty neat. I think that's grounds for opening a second one. All right, that we're our luck has ended, right? Uh, but yeah, I figured with a Harry sub here and the Mike sub, that was worth the sub. Sorry, the chest opening, and then given that we opened a nice one, we opened a second one. All right, where is our league? Why does it do this? How many subs to open all? That is a great. Let's just say 100. Then maybe I'll just do open all. I don't think we can keep this. I know, right? It's just consistently tempting me. Grief. That's unfortunate. So the thing was, I was hoping on Cauldron before I added Chromox, obviously Jojo Bear. I was hoping Cauldron would be good on our deck because it kind of solves the problems that I've had with not only Unlicensed Hearst but Tivar. Uh, namely, Unlicensed Hearst was kind of bad at top deck, and Tivar was kind of bad early against some white decks. I thought Cauldron maybe could bridge in between. That's kind of unfortunate. I think here we just want to go Reclaimer. We don't have a great turn two line, so. And this person is like known for playing Blood Moon. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. Looks like I'm wrong. I kind of wish I kept that oof now, right? I could be just dead too. Ugh, feels so bad. I have the endurance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Atraxa. I don't know. I don't remember what I don't remember what else was on that once, but it feels kind of bad. We did say we're testing against Wilds of Eldraine today, so man. All right, we'll concede. They got us. I do think I don't remember off the top of my I think the options were like Atraxa, Cradle, and some other land. So I do think in the dark we took the correct call. It just didn't work out, was all. I don't think Needle does anything, although I could be wrong. I don't know if they play Wish Claw or not. I don't know what the lists currently look like. It's unfortunate because I did happen to have the endurance, but no pitch. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I'm not typically a fan of these all-in decks, but don't tell Jax I said that. Tell Jax I enjoy, turn warning people. Odds that Besiege gets banned, I think near zero. I think Storm can be easily hated out. People care too. It's not like the format is like lacking for Storm hate. Is how I see it. I don't think Shepherd does anything. And Bowmasters, probably not. I feel like this is the type of game where I just want to get my log pieces out and they probably just can't beat it. There's no shortage of like interaction. Bowmasters, probably not over the Shepherd. I think just having another green card is more relevant. It's got a lot of discard, but not much else going for it. I think I have the mole. As much as I would want to keep this hand, this is like a lot better, right? I think the other hand, there's like a chance that it's just like too much discard, right? Like, and you're not being proactive enough. Okay, so interesting. They don't have a black source. I think we could just cheese a win maybe here. Yeah, yeah. Saga seems like it's nice because you can pitch it too, right? Like that's kind of why I think like Black Saga Storm seems pretty decent. Also, oh my god, really? This card is just horrible too, right? Sure. Maybe I'm supposed to take the LED actually. What are they gonna get? Is the question. Let's see if they play around Graveyard 8. Oh, they just have natural tendrils. You take Rip there? Interesting. Why is that? Yeah, maybe I just didn't think about it through. It's okay. I don't really mind. It's more of me losing to my own self, I guess, there. I don't know their list, but um, I'm not really too concerned about that. That's I feel I felt like to me the take there was either the land or the I mean I don't know how much it meant initial mana sources. I always assume these decks are like very sketch on the mana sources. So to me there it was like that the LED, right? Because of the Inferno Tutor is dead otherwise. But Dark Ritual never really crossed my mind. All right, good game, Sea-Woj. Uh, yeah, I debated between taking the land or the LED. I Game one was kind of unfortunate. I actually had the endurance, but didn't know what you were on. It's just, why does it? Inferno Tutor can Inferno Tutor go Hellbent there? I don't even know. Let's see. Let's take a look. Oops, I can't anymore. I guess they could have gone to Hellbent. Let me get some water as this loads. Andy Wilson. Notable shadow. Well, they play a couple of different decks, I guess. Oops. I think this is a keep. Also, I think this is. Actually, no, that's not true. I screamed, I think, on. I want to say Monday. It might have been. I don't remember, actually. No, that's not true. Yeah. I, I, I want to shout out the Cradle community this past weekend, by the way. Now that I remember, both Jurg, Aaron Relentless, and Curran Testacler top eighted the Saturday challenge with our list, and then granted not the exact 75, but pretty close. And also shout out to Sebastian Bender for top eighting ELM as well with the Delighted Halfling variant of our list. So pretty strong week, not even weekend, but pretty strong Saturday overall. 3 top 8s for this deck. Sunday, I don't think anything eventful, but Saturday was enough for the weekend. So shout out to all 3. Sure. I don't think we super care, but maybe we do. I think here, we're gonna do it this way. We have 2 Bowmasters. I'm not gonna shoot that because I don't want them to reanimate too. And hopefully lock out our opponent's cantrips. Sure. Our opponent is on Shadow. Sure. They didn't take the Bowmasters. Probably because their plan was to waste us. I think I care. Oof. Do I want to lose the days here? Probably not. Right? We have 2, 3, 4 mana. Let's just play it safe and pass. I don't think I want to attack. I don't want to turn on their shadows. I'm going to make them do the work. Chrome Ox actually kind of clutch here, right? Like pitching the Bowmasters. Sure. I think the attack means they have days. Well, not necessarily. I'm just thinking that they want to trade so the Cradle's worth less. I don't know if I can say for sure that they have days, but I mean, I'm not in a rush, right? Like, it feels like they have one card is a boat. Oh my god, why? Mm, it feels like they have Bowmaster. There's no need to attack here. I'll pass. This is kind of a free attack, I guess. What do they have? I could attack more, but not in the rush. A land here, unfortunately, would be... So, the land here was good and bad, right? Like, we gotta... Sure. I mean, the Crow Mox, right? We gotta pitch the Attraction at the same time. Now it's better if it's just another land. Oof. We can't even pitch Natural Order, now that I think about it, because... we don't have green creatures. One problem of Bowmasters, right? Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. Sure. That's the problem with attacking now, right? Like the Death Shadow does more. I don't know if they top deck or not. It didn't feel like they had it. Based on otherwise they could have played it earlier, but I don't know. This hand is awful right now. Really, actually, they're probably holding Force plus pitch, is my guess. Now we have the block. Yeah, this probably Force plus pitch. I think we can wait a turn. Murktide Regent? Sure. I mean, it's now or never, I guess. We'll just play that, doesn't matter really. I'm sure they have the Force. Yeah. That was just kind of unfortunate. Like, the draws here were quite awful. Oops, wrong one. I still want the Snuff Outs in this matchup. Well, actually, they're on Shadow, so no. If they were on Grixis Delver, I still want it. I keep the Natural Orders in against Shadow. We just drew pretty bad. What did they pitch to Force? They did have the days, so I mean, our read was correct. If nothing else, I kind of assumed that they had the days the whole time for what it's worth. That's why I didn't run the thing out. Or let me rephrase that. It felt like it would be fairly free for us to play around, and then unfortunately they topped like what appeared to be the wasteland. Um, but I think we made the correct call, so I don't mind. Something that I am tracking tonight also is if we really want three Chrome Mox. I actually had this discussion with Matt's Olay earlier today because one concern that I have with Chrome Mox is I don't mind the card disadvantage. That's not the issue. It's that I don't really want to draw two. And one thing that is associated with the progression of our deck is the reduction of the failure rate. And while the power level is higher, it's like very catastrophic to draw multiple Chrome Mox. So maybe that's a sign for the Magic Gods that I'm supposed to only play two, right? Also, what's worth noting is I've been fiddling. I haven't played the last few days. I think I played Saturdays. I think I streamed maybe that night. I don't remember what if it was. It might have been that night. I don't remember. But since then, I've only played one league, and that was on Monday. I didn't play last night because I was just exhausted. But I do want to see if this like it's powerful, but I don't know if I want three in the deck. Keep. I think here we just take the artisan. What are we keeping though? Sure. They probably take the artisan, give us the endurance. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. The question here is like, do we want a daze or not? I think stick. I think I'm okay. They want to daze our endurance. I don't want to pitch any of these cards. I'm gonna main phase this. The Gris is an absolute bomb if we land it. Sure. They, they may try to reanimate here. If they do, that's like super annoying. So what's interesting here is like, are we playing around the days or not? Because it's 2, 3, 4. I feel like we don't, and then sorry, we play around the days. The next turn we can get the Gris. The Mox here hurting a little bit. Or just pass. Mox helps in some of the harder matches for what it's worth. No, the big ones that come to mind are prison, like lands. Since I've added, I'm like 6-0 against lands, and that is traditionally I think our hardest matchup. And it helps against like combo fast combo. So there's okay, do that. I think we play around double days here. Pitching the Chromoxer is pretty neat. They have a Bowmaster's almost certainly. 3 mana up doing nothing. They probably hit our Arbor here. Okay, they troll us. That's I don't think I care. Like, what are they gonna do? Reanimate it and go to 4? No, 3. There's no way. They probably just lose on the spot if they do that. We don't even care. Um, it feels like they have Bowmasters. I don't and wants us to run in our creatures. Ooh. So we attack. They have two things. They can kill the Arbor, and then suddenly the Shadow can get through. But we put them to 3 otherwise. I think I'm gonna put them to 3 and see what they do. Or sorry, try to put them to 6 and see if they actually run out their Bowmasters. Here are my socials again for what it's worth. This is not what I want to draw. I think the Magic Gods are definitely like answering a question tonight, right? How many Chrome Mox we want to play? Maybe the answer is 2. That actually opens up another slot main deck for what it's worth too. See they block. 4 cards in hand and 4 mana up. I kind of suspect they have Bowmasters, and they just want us to walk our stuff into it. And then we're just passing us. Just leave all their mana up. Four mana? What is that? Oh, the hard casting the thing. Okay, sure. I think we just continue to block. Maybe there's a possibility I'm supposed to block with the Arbor there because it would have been lethal, but you know, hindsight's 2020. think I want the fetch. Does attacking you get you lethal? Possible. That's a great point. Yeah, that's like yeah, that's actually a good point. So we block attack here with both. They have to block. Well, yeah, we lose the borrower, that's for sure. Okay, maybe we're supposed to tick down first. This is what I get for taking the plays for chat, right? But it's okay. This is what I get for taking the fun play. They probably, to be fair, probably had the Bowmasters too. There is another Arbor, yes. Also, for what it's worth, they could have just, if they had Borrow, they could just bounce one of the other ones, right, and blocked. That would have worked as well. For what it's worth, they could just borrow end of turn too. If we played it safe. It was just, I think the fortunate part was drawing the Atraxa, right? Like, that was kind of awful. Sure. I don't think we have any outs. Mm. The funny thing is, like, Hoof here is lethal, and we boarded it out. That's the funny part. Artisan isn't decent, though. There you go. It's definitely unfortunate. I think we definitely block here. I think there's a chance they just punted. Sure. I guess we'll find out if their last card is Bowmasters or not. I don't think they have it because they hesitated. But it doesn't matter. We will be attacking regardless. just gonna hold that up. Do we care is the question. I think we don't block, and then we get another artisan. Oh my god, they're hard casting that? Wow, I did not expect that. So they have to block here. They can kill the artisan if they double block. I think if they want to trade, I think that's okay with us. The question here is like, do I main phase it? Probably. So if they swing in, I block. Actually, no, we're not gonna play around it. We're gonna feign the attack. They draw force, they draw force. We live with that. Uh, Blocking now plays around. Hey, offhand. I mean, hey, Ramona, how's it going? I'm pretty sure I punted here. But that is okay. What am I doing? I'm supposed to. Actually, all of my grips were dead anyway, so there's a comedy of errors on my behalf here. Alright, do we want to run it back or not? I guess we try another one. I'm just not playing the sharpest here. Not playing the sharpest. I do think for what it's worth, maybe that is a sign we're supposed to trim a box. We lost the match or the game because we didn't have the hoof in our deck, but I think it's correct to still board it, keep it out. Like, I'm not playing around that corner case scenario that came up earlier. There was another thing that like probably cost me. I think the attack is and not playing around the bar. So if we're keeping track, Twitch chat right now is 0 and 1, right? Oh, thank you for the sub to Coderific. Appreciate that. That feels good, after the led astray here, right? Okay, why does this keep happening? Yes. That's true. You did owe me one. You did owe me one. I'm obviously kidding. Twitch chat is 100% right all the time, right? This is a mole. You have black cards that you can't cast. If we lose this game here, this match here, I'm definitely dropping. I don't want to be in the 0-3 play Belcher bracket. Also, that'll give us a chance to maybe retune this list, right? The Magic Gods are telling me to cut Chromox, or at least one copy, right? What that does, interestingly enough, is open up our sideboard for. Let's just say we do this. That I think I will be inclined to do this, and that has some other cascading effects. I think maybe that means we get the Veil of Summer back too, right? But that's a little premature, I guess. Also, hope you're doing well, Star Fox or David. Ramar, you gotta play this list for Saturday. You are 100% going to top 8, just like you did at the Buffalo Chicken Dip event. Oh, okay, nice. That works too. I would be playing, but I mentioned to Chad already that I unfortunately will be out of town on visiting the my wife's cousins. Their son is turning 1, so we're visiting for the baby. It will be notably our baby's first flight. I hope our opponent is not double queuing. Thank you, David. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna be pretty tired, but it'll be cool to see family. Like, well, her side of the family at least. Keep. I really hope our opponent is not double queuing. I think we have the Reclaimer already. We just take the Hierarch here. Oh, I love dim sum. Oh man. So David, little known fact about me: my favorite breakfast food is actually dim sum. Oh my God, we're playing this deck. All right, I think we're gonna be. We are likely dropping from this league because we're not beating this deck. I don't think. Whoa, whoa! Eternal Kitchen with a raid. Unfortunately, pretty bad showing for me so far. I'm 0-2 and probably gonna be 0-3 here. Who's the bestie? Is it my opponent or is it me? We'll see. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate the good vibe. Yeah, I'm like, what's it called? I'm in a great mood today or tonight. So, 0-2, 0-3, whatever it is. Can't get me down tonight, right? We're here for the testing and the vibes. We're like very likely to be dead next turn, but we have to take a chance that they somehow. Thank you for the follow, Eternal Kitchen. Thank you, appreciate it. For those who don't know, actually, let's do this. I'm gonna give mod to the Eternal Kitchen. My good friend Curran is part of the Eternal Kitchen, and they do a lot of paper streaming. That's likely what they were doing prior to this, to be honest. So give them a follow. And I just made the mod. I think we're dead here, but the point is, what's it called? You can see some cool paper magic from the Portland area on their stream. I think here we might as well. Actually, it doesn't do us. It doesn't matter if I get a cradle here. Sure. I guess I'll cast. Actually, funny enough, this makes our deck worse against their deck, right? Not. I'm not gonna do it. I think we want the snuff out in case it matters. It probably won't matter. I don't even like care enough about this deck to like know if it fizzles or not. That's a good question, Heathen King. I am not trying any. I'm testing against Wilds of it. I mentioned ahead of the chat that, or at the beginning of the stream, that the card that I would be interested in testing was Agatha's Soul Cauldron, but I'm gonna wait for it to drop a little bit before testing. Not to mention, it is a little bit awkward with Chromox, but because that opens up you up to not only graveyard hate but artifact hate too. And I'm not sure it's good enough to warrant, like, opening ourselves up to hate, more hate, I should say. That's a card. So the line here is we're gonna snuff out the Wanderer, and hopefully, like, somehow they fizzle and they don't have enough haste creatures to kill us. Oh my goodness. We got the Atraxa even. Maybe we're not dead after all. Okay, that is something. So the funny thing is we'll take the natural order, of course. The endurance here is live. The grist is live, and the land is live, I think. In case it matters for blocking up purposes. I think there's a chance we steal this game now because of Atraxa. I don't know enough about their deck, unfortunately, to. Oh, no, I take that back. Why did they have to draw that card? Eesh. Okay. Now I think we're dead. Well, let me do the math. I don't even know, but we're gonna get our board annihilated, so that hurts. I haven't done the math yet to know whether we're dead or not. Anybody who plays this deck, do they ever whiff? Like, assuming they don't get the Emerald Code the way that they did right now. Like, they can lose, right? As far as I understand. So here, I think we have to snuff out the Maelstrom Wander. Otherwise, the Emrakul can attack immediately. Okay, for some reason I thought they could whiff, but maybe no. Assuming they didn't get the Emrakul, I think we're dead now. But like, I'll concede for in everybody's interest. Like, because we still have to hit that. We go to 13, and then just annihilate our board, and then hit us for a ton next turn. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to think. Is there a way we live? I don't think so. The cascade stacking with creativity guarantees Emrakul. Okay, that's good to know. I guess. Okay, I'll. It sounds like your Inquisitor is familiar with our deck, so there's no point of casting. Well, the Snuff Out could be relevant. We get into like this Teague weird metagame, right? Or sub game. Not metagame, sorry. Let's see how many cards we can board in. I think the Snuff Out is still better than the Grist, but maybe I'm wrong. Like in case we get into this. Actually, we can't even cast a Snuff Out if Teague is on the board, so I don't even think Snuff Out does anything. I'm not an expert on their deck, so like I'm definitely the wrong person to ask for this. I feel like maybe the endurance just to like go faster or something, like with the Kratos might be more relevant. This is like an awful match. It's like a Belcherish deck, right? Keep. We have like turn two Teague. I think that's probably what we're doing. Well, to be fair, we have the ramp turn one, and then we can seize them to see what they have, and then what does pair of dice lost do in Legacy? It's good for amp. It's like a bet. It's an on color. Don't think I care. So this could. It's a 0-3. Is that right? Maybe I can give them this. This the Wander is like very scary down the road. Like it could come down to that like later on. I don't think I care about this. I lost to this before with T out, so that's the only reason why I bring it up. Yeah, we're gonna T them. Like I have lost to this card with T out, so that's why I want to take it. They're on I think a two turn clock. We're gonna get Reclaimer next turn, and that's gonna I guess a 3 turn clock, right? Because we have the Reclaimer, get the land, and then get Hoof. This has Flash, so we gotta be careful. We can't attack like randomly. Actually, they got 2, 4. So we could, it becomes a 3/3. We can attack if they want. It becomes a 3/6. Our Teague is a 4/4, so it's not gonna die. And then they lose a Cascader, and then they lose their lands. I think that's okay with us. You can't kill the Teague, and they lose 2 of their lands. I don't think they're gonna do it. We gotta save enough for. One, two, three, four, 5. This guarantees a turn. Kill the 2 turns from now. Uh-oh. That can't be good. Oh my god, they top deck the Wanderer? God. It's not our night. It's not our night. Boarding party. Okay. Uh, do we just soak the damage? This is a 3/6, so we can block this for free. Here we take 6. That's probably okay. We could technically get rid of this if we want. Well, no, we can't. I think that's fine. I want to leave the Reclaimer. Okay, I would rather that be in my deck, but that's okay. We're gonna have enough mana. We're gonna kill them next turn. We'll chump block the Wanderer, and then block even with the Spider, and then they're dead. The problem is we're not gonna win game 3. This is somewhat free, I guess. Wow, we got greedy. Why didn't they do that earlier? Well, I guess we're gonna get a land anyway, so it doesn't matter. We actually knew about that. I'm just like getting sloppy. It's a gazillion damage. I'm not even gonna count. They punted. They needed to do that on upkeep. So the snuff out, ironically enough, would have hit the. Well, actually, it can't because you can't do it with T. I keep forgetting about that. Think of the follow. Uh, all right. How are we gonna win a game on the draw here? Okay, here it is. TZ Verubin. There's a couple of nicknames for this deck. Um, the one that I think the community has kind of adopted is Cradle Control. I call that I use that name for the deck for the longest time, but out of respect for Jarv Dog, Jarvis Yu, he said this is not really a control deck, and he's technically right. I just like it for the alliteration more than anything else. Especially with Chrome Mox, you can call it Chrome Cradle Control, but it's it's also not a mid-range deck, which I think a lot of people associate with our deck. I like that. I like Elf too. That's great, and I appreciate the shout out with the Newton Elves. I have never called the deck Newton Elves only because I think that's a little bit that'd be a little bit too narcissistic, right? But it's definitely an honor when people call it outside. What was I gonna say? But really, this is not a mid-range deck. It's I know that it's really a prison deck more than anything else. Right. I don't. I think it's way too narcissistic for somebody to call it XYZ pile, right? Like I don't think I hear like Chase Hansen calling his list Strifle pile. That as far as I know, right? Uh, man, it's like really close, but not at the same time because you have turn two. Yeah. I don't. Same thing, right? I can't imagine he would call it Strifle pile. It's a little bit too much. We have a path to victory, but it's a little bit slow. The problem is it gonna get better than this? Maybe not. So I'm gonna keep. All right. If they have the turn to trickery, then we lose. But I don't think we can mold to discard. I think like this has to be in our range, right? All right. We got another turn. Ooh. Yeah. Force of Despair is pretty hot, for sure. Oh man, this like changed my line here, right? Are we getting Teague here, or are we getting? The problem is Miss Merrifield. They could just have like two six drops. I feel like we have to. I feel like the line is Teague here. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the impression I'm getting too. The question is like, Atraxa doesn't even stop what they're doing. I don't think. Um, we were gonna miss Merrifield, but then there's a decent chance they have two sixers. The question here is like, are we pitching the artisan or are we pitching the fiend? And I feel like we pitch the Fiend and try to take the Maelstrom Wanderer out of their hand. Yeah, it feels bad, but I think we have no choice. I think we have no choice. Like it's to me a little bit greedy to Fiend here when their deck may very likely have multiple 6 drops. I guess we'll find out right now. They may flash in that one thing. Who knows? We're definitely not attacking into 6 mana with that. Flying 5/3. I think here. So do we care about this being a 3/6 or a 5/3? They have double red if they want to go on the aggro plan. This is a much faster clock for what it's worth. Oh, I don't. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's dumb of me. Yeah, I think we take that. We bash now. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't look. I don't know their deck, right? I've actually never won a matchup against their deck. Take the Wanderer. I think lifetime I'm like 0-3 or something against this deck. I don't. The matchup is very hard. We'll see. Maybe tonight's a first, right? Sure. What is this? Gemstone Caverns? Sure. I mean, NO doesn't do anything here because with the Teague up, unfortunately. Our gut was right at least, right? Like, I just felt like there's a decent chance they had 2 6 drops, and I think they did, right? Uh, we're gonna play out our land here. That's fine. So the question here is whether the fetch or not. Uh, I feel like we maybe don't fetch here. Wow, man. If I don't fetch, I feel bad for playing the land now, right? So we fetch, we go to 10. Reclaimer gets online the following turn. It might be too late. Yeah, endure. Actually, this is reason for endurance to be in the deck now, right? I think we just bash with all. We don't need to trade with it yet, but we may at some point. I'm gonna try to unlock my mana. Get the Reclaimer online. We can still wait another turn to trade with Endurance if need be. And race them? Interesting. Oh my god. Well, now we're just dead. Now we are just dead. Yeah, well, it wouldn't have mattered. This is how it's like typically plays out, unfortunately. I think yes and no, Ruben. It's resilient to a different type of hate. So it beats permission for the most part and beats discard. Unfortunately, we are like a discard-based disruption deck. It loses to Wasteland plus Clock. It has a bad lands matchup, and similarly, it has a bad Moon Stomping matchup. Uh, it I haven't seen it play against Temple, but I do know it has a atrocious lands matchup and Moon Stomping matchup. So we're just dead. That's okay. All right, we're in the 0-3 bracket. That is a sign from the Magic Guards that we need to change up the list. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this league. Yeah, no, I believe Delver can beat it. I don't doubt that. It's just I don't know. I haven't seen it play out, is all. Uh, right now, we'll go back to this list. For those who want to brainstorm how we're gonna fix the list, so to speak, I'm playing this main. Maybe it's not the best alternative. Another option is Shepherd. Haven't really felt like I needed to. But the Magic Guards are telling me I need to cut a Mox. The alternative is to play like this is what I tentatively have. If anybody else has a better idea, what did we lose to? Oh, great question. Oh, we lost to Beseech the Mirror, and then round two, what did we lose to? I don't even remember. What did we lose to round two? Oh, we lost to Shadow. Uh, okay, Shadow makes me kind of wonder if that's fair. That's Badoom doom. All right, I will be back. I think this is what I tentatively like. If somebody has a better suggestion, feel free to message. I am back. Uh, I haven't played this since I cut the card in anticipation to Bowmasters, but in talking with Matt's Romario, I think that might have been premature. I think the card is like very good. It's like flexible, and I liked it at least prior to Bowmasters. Obviously, it's a little bit worse now because I want this card to map against Tempo, and it kind of sucks if my opponent gets back the card I want to Thoughtseize them. But those matchups have, in my opinion, some margin. And in a lot of the other matchups, besides Tempo, they don't have Bowmasters that I would want Fiend in. Something I was thinking about while using the restroom too was if I think look at the three matchups that we lost to. Uh, well, the Magic Gods were telling us to play two, right? Like based on the league. I thought about that. I just think this is a vastly superior card to Freebooter. Now, and for what it's worth, the way the deck is constructed, at least at the moment, we just kind of ignore Bowmasters. Like, it's not even that good against us, in my opinion. It's only good on the play if they're on the play. If they're on the draw or just don't draw it, like then it doesn't really do much against us. And our deck doesn't draw cards, right? Like Atraxa's trigger is written in such a way that we don't get hit by Bowmasters. And not to mention you're not losing it typically if Atraxa hits the board. Like I have lost with Atraxa, unfortunately, but it's very rare. Like it's probably under 10 times total. Or around that much. And I've played a lot of games where she's just like stabilizes the board. Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't really want to draw two, right? Like, it's good if the first one is like insane, but like, the second one is almost like a mode of five, right? I thought about the matches we lost to, and it made me think of Soulless Jailer actually, because um, what's it called? Let me swap it from my other account here. Let me do a quick trade here. BRB. Yeah, I mean, I I don't mind playing around Bowmasters if it's like relatively free. The problem with Freebooter is it is not hitting a creature is like very bad in my opinion. So give me 1 second as I purchase the or move over the Soulless Jailer. I it would have been good in all three matchups for what it's worth, and it's a card I've been meaning to try. I never got to because of like when it came out the same set as Atraxa, it just like got lost in the shuffle, so to speak, right? I don't mind trying some Force of Despairs. The problem is like more two for ones on ourselves is I don't know if that's where we want to be. Is the only thing. It's definitely been on my radar as a card to try for what it's worth. The thing is like I'm not sure what we really care about aside from like Snuff Out handles almost everything we care about, and is not we're not down a card. The exception to that rule is it doesn't hit Magus or Opposition Agent, but the Magus matchup is significantly better already, just from adding Mox to the deck. It means we can play through it now. And Opposition Agent is like really only played in one deck in my opinion. Oops, wrong one. Now obviously I know Maverick plays it, but like uh and Harry's been crushing it with Maverick, but like it's not like it's super popular in the metagame. Like I think Maverick is like at 1 or 2% right now. Sure, it doesn't handle all of that, but like I'm not. like no, they're not gonna empty it against me, and uh, I'm not playing around Cascade too for what it's worth. Like it's just not a deck I don't. Okay, I'll put it this way. TZ Verruben. I'm not against it, but I need to think about what to cut, and I don't love the idea of cutting snuff outs because this is why I think our initiative matchup is okay. So I will think about your suggestion and how to cut. Um, Maybe that means we cut a fairy. That's crazy. That's how. And if you up the veil summers over the force of vigors, I don't really like cutting force of vigor when lands is like a relevant matchup. Yes, I can make it bigger. Let me move it over. Here is the sideboard. So this is kind of what I have in mind at the moment. Just I remember this card that it would have been relevant all three matchups. Uh, I'm not dismissing what you're saying. Like I said, I am probably higher on Force of Vigor than not Vigor, Force of Despair than most. But again, I don't really want to cut snuff outs for them. The minimum number of snuff outs I think I want to play is three. So like I can see trimming one, maybe playing a Force of Despair there, maybe cutting a Fair Macabre or something for the second force. The problem is the black count is a little bit low too for what it's worth, and I don't want to hurt. Like I said, the black count is a little bit low for what it's worth. If it exile, that'd be really interesting because it stops Merit Lage too, right? But if they end step up, that'd be kind of bad, right? Veil fixes the shadow matchup and Storm is everywhere. Actually, okay, I thought about something right now. Force of Despair, it doesn't stop Agent because they're gonna flash it in, right? That's the other problem with it. They're gonna hit it on our turn. And if we don't hit Agent with it, what are we hitting then? Storm is everywhere. So let's try it. Right, I was with you, and then I thought about it some more, and reminded that it does not hit agent. So that is one of the big knocks already, right? I see against the card because unlike the pitch elementals, you can't pitch on your turn. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, I definitely have lost my fair share of games to like Ave. Um, but I do think bullets are more. I mean, granted, we have got Artigo already, but I do want to try the jail. Oh, we're playing against Max. My favorite was David. Probably Siu Mai is probably my favorite. I think this is a mulligan. We don't have a second land. Oh, this is even worse. He's kidding. Max is kidding about sniping, obviously. I don't think I want to go lower. So I'm just gonna keep. I kind of wish I kept my first hand now. Which format do you play that? Verruben? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm familiar with that. I am vaguely familiar with that format. I think we're playing against some kind of combo here, but I could be wrong. Um, Definitely doing this. Uh, I'll check it out in a bit. Verubin. All right. Force day. It might be. Well, it could be anything still, to be honest. Actually, there are days that I feel like. No. I'm gonna. I think I want to wrap here actually, in case there are a wasteland deck. It could be, yeah, it could be. Well, Lauren reveal means it's likely not now. I would guess scam. Max, I know, loves scam decks. He notably took our deck and put the scam package in, immediately 5-0'd with it. So he knows a thing or two about that. Oops. It's a must force, and I don't know if he has a second one. I think we just take the Atraxia. I don't think we're in danger of dying because of the Lauren revealed. Mox, Gris, Land. I think you want a Reclaimer or the Endurance? Probably, actually the Reclaimer, the Green Sun. Oops. This is kind of nuts, to be honest. Our hand here. Get the Gris down turn early. Oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, I didn't play around that for sure. So I definitely did not. Yeah, you definitely called it Verubin. I did not play around it because I did not think Doomsday played Lauren revealed, but obviously I got by that, right? Now, if he has the Street Reef or the Edge of Autumn, I just lose here, right? Oh, he's playing the Ring too. Interesting. Am I just dead? I think I'm just dead here. Da, da, da. He's, so the question here is, does Max? I'm assuming probably has the LED. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So I guess more of the starter. Maybe you play around the card that you're most afraid of. I just assumed, for what it's worth, Lauren reveal just meant like there's no way it's Doomsday. That's some kind of tempo deck, right? All right. Now we know. Now we know. Da, da, da. I think we like the snuff outs in this matchup. The needles are good. I didn't check his list closely to see what is it called? I didn't check his list closely to see how many of the cyclers he had, but I think the needles will be relevant regardless. And then we can board out. I think the hoof. What would be the reasoning for that answer key game? I just don't see the upside of End, to be honest, because we're not cheating it in or doing anything special with it. And if we're hard casting it, I think another card is better. That is my logic, at least. Da-da-da. So Reclaimer. Actually, we're running out the Fiend Artisans. I don't like it in this matchup. And I don't think this has any text in this matchup. So probably something like this. Yeah, that looks good. Uh, gotta keep this. One of the Once Upon a Times, one of the ones, is earmarked for the endurance already. I think here, we take a second land? Probably not. I feel like we take the Reclaimer. I mean, we have plenty of green, so I don't think that's the reason, right? If it picks for black, like troll, then I think I'm more interested in troll more than because it pitches for black. Green is not really the issue in the deck. That's a good top deck. Sure. See, it's times like this where I'm glad I'm playing what's called noble, ignoble instead of the delighted halfling, right? Uh, I think it's too narrow, personally. I think the ceiling would need to be higher as a key game. That is my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that's like can be useful. I just don't think it's enough, if that makes sense. So we have hard cast endurance and a pitch cast endurance. Maybe that's enough. We can also bash with the reclaimer depending on how things shake out here. He goes to 8. Unfortunately, our clock is like anemic. All right. There's an LED here, two pedals, rings are here. I don't know how many rings he plays total. Shieldred is kind of surprising to see. Would not have pegged him to be on that. How many brainstorms? Actually, more important, how many force and days? One, two, three, four fours. I think I saw one days, so that is like a possibility. Yeah, only see one day so far. I think I'm just gonna, depending on how I draw here, right, that's gonna affect my line. If I draw a second green pitch, then I'm more likely to just pitch cast both. Draw a land here, I'm probably attacking with the Reclaimer. Okay, that changes things, I guess. I think I hear it's a free bash. I think we just hold everything. Because we want a natural order next turn. Because that's on Atraxa, right? Mm. I'm debating what to do here. I can like do it in response and only hit one card. I could wait till they activate too. That's the other thing. I'll let it go. Uh, yeah, we could. There's that too, right? The fact that we had double endurance. That's actually a pretty decent draw. We don't have hoof, but then I think Atraxa will draw us into what we need to draw. The cheeky line here is to get Collector Oof, but I don't think that's worth it. Snuff Out here is good. So I'm going to take land as well. The Mesmeric Fiend here is also very good. I think so too, but we'll see. I don't want to underestimate Max here. Do we do anything? No, we don't do anything in response to that. Okay, that worked out exactly to plan. Actually, when I get since I got the opportunity here, I want to shout out Matt's Ellington here for the tech. I used to keep it in just Hoof instead of Atraxa, but his argument was Atraxa, under most circumstances, will draw you to hate to at least buy another turn. And then if that's the case, she can attack for lethal, which is the equivalent to Hoof. The difference is, in a low resource game, Atraxa can reload on a natural order, whereas a non-lethal Hoof is pretty bad. So that's the Matt's Ellington tech here, and I had it reversed before, and he convinced me that this is correct, and it played out actually the way he said right now. Oof. I think we have to mold this. That's a lot better. Keep. Um, we don't have much of a clock, and I think we have to lead on C's anyways. Then we just put the hierarch back. Ooh, okay, that's pretty bad for us. I think regardless, I've had a lot of fun tonight. Been a pretty chill stream. Thank you, David. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I can take losses pretty hard, but tonight's been good. I mean, we haven't won any matches, but I've been having fun. Oh, it sounds like TZ Verruben. Are you familiar with his list then? I mean, I saw the rings. I know Max had been fiddling around with that. Let's see. There's an LED. I think what's likely to happen is Max gonna make a slow hand that's gonna fetch out the other. Let's once first. That's like relevant, I guess. So I was saying TZ Verruben. What are you saying? Look at this list. I mean, we can see from the exile pile, unless you're referring to something else. Oh, the link I sent you. Oh, I see. Sure, I can do that. I can do that after this. Remind me in case I forget. Can be forgetful. I think the line almost under most circumstances is gonna be Mez next turn two. I'm trying to think of what does a route to victory look like for us here. The problem is like I don't think Greenstone for anything wins. Actually, there is an outside chance that pedal may matter, but I don't think so. I don't think we fiend. There's a possibility for that. The problem is like, what is better than if we don't fiend, right? Oh, that's fair. Uh, I think here we take the. No, I understand, but the problem is like, if we're not gonna fiend, when are we gonna do it? But I do like your line for endurance too, though, for what it's worth. Uh, do we care? I think we take the Oracle here. Otherwise, they brainstorm lock themselves. If they have the days, that'd be like super unfortunate. Well, that shuts off the endurance line now. Two cards in hand, one left in the library. Okay. Did they screw up? This loses to endurance now. I don't like that idea. They have one card left. Let me think. Endurance doesn't matter here. What does? We're gonna bash regardless. What would have mattered was if we had endurance in hand, but we didn't. That would have punished the spell bomb line. I think here we're just dead. Cards in 2, 1. Da, da, da. I'm trying to think if there's something that we could have that would potentially change anything. I don't think so. I mean, what does the GSD do here, though? I'm trying to think. I just don't think it does anything. Well, I guess in case, like the game's gonna be decided one way or another here, right? Yeah. So he played around the snuff out, which was heads up. Max knows about that too, for what it's worth, because he mentioned before how this card is typically a blank against them, but for some reason in our deck it's annoying because we have endurance. Because he has devotion, he has no cards left in the library, right? No, no, no. It's library. So I don't think there was anything we could have done differently there. Well, let me take that back. We could have gone for the endurance line. Hey Max, I was just telling you how you smartly played around the snuff out. Um, I actually don't recall beating Max with snuff out personally, although I've gotten a lot of other Doomsday players with snuff out. Yeah, for sure, Max. I was just mentioning there. I was curious if you had messed up or it was intentional with the spell bomb hate because like that didn't play around the endurance there. I could have like endurance in response, but I don't know if that was like I did something that made you fire off early. I guess. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I that makes sense. Okay, so I was curious about that the evoking the endurance, playing around the spell bomb, but I'll look at Verubin's line deck here real quick. I actually love this card from standard, but okay, so this is like a graveyard like dredge type deck. I actually thought about registering this card in Legacy, believe it or not. Uh, for those of you who think I'm a madman, I kind of am. Like I literally thought about registering this card. My hand max. Let me go back. It was snuff out a green sun. So the other line I could have taken was to like because you knew about the mesmeric fiend. TZ Verubin here mentioned I could have just green high arc into endurance, but then you played around that as well with the spell bomb. uh, so ended up not mattering, but like well, let me rephrase that. It could have mattered because I could have got well. That's too many turns. If I got artisan, like then I'm giving you like two additional turns more or less, right? What was I? But yeah, I boarded all four snuff outs because like it started as a meme because I would get Doomsday players game one with it, right? And then I kept noticing that Doomsday players never played around snuff outs, so I thought, okay, maybe I'll get some careless players, whatever you want to call it, right? But I noticed that it is very difficult, and Max noticed this too. It's very difficult to play around endurance and snuff out simultaneously. And we're the only deck I think that has access to that at the moment, at least. So I found it to be very effective and have gotten a lot of players with that. I don't think I recall getting Max with it, but like Max's memory is probably better than mine. Oh, that's fair. And then you have yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so you can trigger the fiend and then get back whatever you need to get back. So that makes sense. Yeah, I was curious. I was curious about the spell bomb line is the only reason, but that makes sense. Yeah. Let's take a look at Skull Clamp. It's a card I enjoy playing in EDH. Four silver. This seems excessive, but maybe there's something I'm missing. Yeah, I don't know why my screen does this. If anybody smarter than me. Oh, sure. Okay, fair. Yeah, that makes sense, Max. Right. My one two is like I actually sent Max's article like from a long time ago, where the Cradle game plan was like Assassin's Trophy plus like Shepherd because you can just like trophy their land, but essentially against Doomsday, I just want to like become an A plus B combo as well. I'm trying the Soulless Jailer for this league because the previous league was kind of a bust. I lost to a bunch of decks was that were slightly vulnerable to that card. All right, good night, Max. Hopefully, I can see you soon at Spellhold. I know I haven't been around, but my plan is to hopefully come out soon. Obviously, not anytime in the near future, but definitely do miss going there. So I did see that cool image of you and I think Fred playing. I didn't look at it carefully, but so that was pretty cool. Is there a reason why we aren't going back to Archon Valor's Reach? That's a good question. The short answer is I think Atraxa just does enough that we don't need Archon. Also, the deck has gone to a point where like um, the deck has gone to a point where if you cast Natural Order, you're probably already winning because of how much disruption it has. So I don't think it's worth the slot, but maybe I'm wrong. Like before, you would have to get into this weird state, right, where Hoof's not lethal against fast combos such as Doomsday. But I think now with Atraxa, like you just dig through time twice, right, more or less, and then just find whatever disruption you need. Archon was like pretty good before for beating fast combo when our hand we didn't have lethal, right, or a board, sorry. I think we're gonna lose here again. Might not be our night. We might just like do the what was I gonna say? We might go for the 0-5 tonight, which is even crazy for us. I think here we want to bash in case the damage matters. I don't think it will. I mean, even if we end up 0-5 tonight, the vibes were good, right? I do think we got useful testing done for what it was worth. It's also the Magic Gods. It's also the Magic Gods punishing me for thinking this deck is solved, right? Like, you think this deck is solved? I'm gonna allow you to go 5-0-5 on stream for the first time, and put you back to the drawing board. All right. We're gonna board the same way we boarded against Max. Hopefully, we'll have more luck than we did previously. For what it's worth, we did punt that the first game. Maybe we should have just gotten the endurance. Um, but live and learn, right? I think we learned a decent amount, even though the results may not have showed it this league, or sorry, this stream. I think we cut layer. We need one more cut, probably a reclaimer. Nope. This is a lot better. We're gonna put back the forest, and then we know what's on bottom, so we're gonna once first before fetching, and then probably get some green card off the once, right? Otherwise, we have to earmark the hierarch as pitch. Okay. I think we take the Bowmasters here. Actually, this is like super awkward because all right, this is like extremely awkward. I think we kind of have to ramp here and just like not get turn one. It's actually okay now that I think about it because we can actually cast the endurance next turn. We just die turn one here. I think we can shield down for one turn. That's fine. Like if they have the full on, not just Dark Ritual Doomsday, but kill you turn one, throw Snuff out. I think that we just live with it, right? Because I think holding the hierarch there, given that we have to fetch um, buy you for snuff out at some point is way too cautious. Okay, let's see. Are we dying this turn? Maybe we are. I don't know. Maybe we are. Sure. One, two. Do they have force three? They have one force left, I think. No, they don't. Interesting. The question here is like, do I just like hit their? Do I green sun here? Okay, I think they just messed up their pile. They said I'm bad at this deck, so I think they just messed up their pile. All right. I think we give it a go again. I don't think we change anything. I do like this in theory, but you know, theory is one thing. Maybe it's too slow. So opponent just said, "I'm ready for a Chrome Mox into Bone Masters from Elves." Um, hey Nigo, how's it going? I don't think we can keep a hand just on Snuff Out. Seems kind of loose. Put this back, I guess. So, Inigo, the stream is going well and not at the same time, right? Like, we have not won a match, but we have learned a lot. I also think the deck, maybe the sweet spot is 2 Chromox. We went 0-3 in the first league. And also, all three decks a little bit vulnerable to Soulless Jailer, so I'm trying it this league. We also made a few well, I wouldn't say we made a few mistakes. The one mistake we made was in the match prior against Max, and we thought he was on a fair deck because he played Lorion revealed, and I didn't take the endurance off the attracts trigger and then died to Doomsday. Oh, I'm on 21 plus 2 for what it's worth, Inigo. I think with only two mocks, the land count, we don't need a 24 total. If that makes sense. Because the thing is, like with 23, we were like on the flood edge almost, right? So that's why I think 21 plus 2 is something I want to try. I think the higher well, yeah, I think I'm okay with maybe 21 plus 2 mocks. Drawing 2 mocks is definitely just probably game losing, right? Even if the power level is like high. We did beat a we did beat game two against Creative Technique where they hardcast a Maelstrom Wanderer and we won through it, but unfortunately couldn't get game three as a hardcast Apex Devastator, or whatever that card is, the 10 drop. Because when it was usually utility, yeah, I mean I don't like not like it for what it's worth. I just think that we're like 23 when we were playing it was probably closer to flood than not, but I was okay with that. And I think given that the total number is still 23, I think it's fine if two of them are mocks. I did not feel comfortable for what it's worth after a larger sample size with three mocks and only 20 lands. I felt like I wanted that 21st land. Yeah, I think that's reasonable, Inigo. Opponent is in the tank with this Doomsday resolution. What do we? Oh, we bottled that Traxa, so I think. How many cards do they have in hand? One. Sure. Like tempted to fire off this endurance here, but speaking of Chrome Mox, what am I doing here? Two cards in the library. Mm, my guess is they have a second Oracle, which I'm gonna snuff out right now. with the that probably wins the game. Well, maybe not actually. I should have actually waited. I should have waited. That was a mistake on my behalf. Cause now they can wait, right, to go to 4. I got careless. I got overconfident here. I should have waited for them to cast the Oracle, and then they probably just lose. That was my fault. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so mad at myself right now. I tunnel vision to the line and then gave them the opportunity to yeah. That was really bad on my behalf. Not my day. Not my day. So the line there was um, allow them to cast the Oracle. There's a chance they play around it, but that would be like pretty heads up to do that. But I like screw that up. Like I should not have like I don't know why I tunnel vision into it, but it is what it is. Not the best league, and fortunately punted there. All right, I think we'll call it a night. Not the best showing, but punted a few times here and there. I think the list felt. I'm not. I don't think I'm too concerned. Like I think maybe I just gotta clean up my play a little bit. Definitely threw that last game there by tunnel visioning into the snuff out and telegraphing to my opponent, essentially making sure that they don't screw it up is probably the best way to explain it. It could be. The problem is like the nomble with the oof, right? But maybe it's fine. I think my personal gut feeling is the Mez Fiend is probably better. Because I think Cauldron beats a lot of the decks that we already are favored in, for what it's worth. All right, let's go see who we can raid here. Lots of mistakes tonight, but the vibes were good, right? Let's go ahead and raid PT Bench. Here's my socials again. Thank you everyone for hanging out tonight, and thank you David for the subs. Appreciate it.